I'm Becky from Chimera Crafting. Welcome to my very first Yorkshire Yarn Fest. It's very exciting. I'm just going to wait for a minute or two. Hello there, thank you for joining me. Let's just wait a moment or two. There we go, lovely. Okay, so as I say, I'm Becky. I'm the person behind Chimera Crafting. Thank you for popping in and thank you for taking the time to join me today. So I just want to say a very big thank you to Sophie for organising all of this. She's wonderful and she's done such a fantastic job as well. So Chimera Crafting, I started it in January 2020. I've been up and running for around about 18 months or just over. And like I say, this is my very first Yorkshire Yarn Fest live. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a couple of collections that I have already in stock, as well as one or two shiny new colourways as well. So first up is my Humber Estuary inspired collection. Now I am from Hull in East Yorkshire, as you can probably tell from my accent, and I take a lot of inspiration from all sorts of different things around me when I'm finding things, colours to work from. So this was based on a photograph that I took of the Humber, the River Humber, at sunset. So you can see the three there. Now this one is called Brackish, based on the water, the reflected sky that you could see on the photograph. I'll show you this. Lots of very pretty tonal blues, a little bit of white in there as well. So that one's Brackish. And then next up is Estuarine. You were born in Hull too. Thank you, Beth. I just saw that pop up. So this is Estuarine, and this was inspired by the horizon point on the photograph that I took. So you can see we have the water. This little bit represents the bank on the other side. And then we flow through into some very pretty sunset shades. Now this is dyed on double knit. It's Corriedale. Not superwashed, it's completely natural. And it's also British sourced as well. Now this one is called Flockus, and I dyed this after the clouds in the sky in the sunset. So you can see it's full of absolutely beautiful, very pretty pastel shades. There we go. There we go. So that's my Humber Estuary collection. Oh, thank you. Hello there. I hope you can all hear me all right, by the way. I did test all of my equipment last night. Give us a thumbs up or a wave if you can hear me properly. That would be really helpful. Thank you. And so I'm going to move on to a new little collection. Now I'm inspired a lot by astronomy in general. I'm an amateur astronomer and I love stargazing. I'll come back to that a little bit later as well. So I've been working from inspiration from nebula, and this is my nebula collection. Now this is dyed on 4-ply, blue face Leicester and nylon. Now these are actually a little set, so these are sock weight 4-ply, and it has trilobal nylon mixed in with it, which gives it a lovely subtle shimmer to the yarn as well. So the larger skein is 85 gram and the smaller skein is 25. So it's a 110 gram set, and all combined it's 440 meters that this gives you. So this one was inspired by the Lionhead Nebula, and this is called Lion's Dreams. You can see it's all golden yellows and oranges with hints of blacks and greys to represent the deep space behind it as well. And then next up we have one inspired by the Witchhead Nebula. I'll show you that if you can see. There we are. So if I unravel it and show you the very pretty bottle greens, yellowy greens, and then the blacks as well, again to represent that deep space. So the idea between is that, of course, this could be used for socks, but also the mini skein could be used for edging for a shawl, all sorts of different ideas there. So that is Witch Head and Dream. That's what that one's called. I'll get that skeined up. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining me. That's wonderful. I'm really grateful. This one, so I'm just checking my notes. This is based on the Rosette Nebula. And this one is called Rosette Revelation. Very pretty pinks and oranges in there, as well as that darker grey to represent the deep space. So again, this is 4-ply, British sourced blue-faced Leicester and nylon mix. There we are. Super pretty. I hope you like that. So last from my Nebula collection is Beyond the Veil. Now this one was inspired by the Veil Nebula. And you see it's got those beautiful turquoises, pinky purples, darker purples, as well as the black sections as well. So again, works very nicely together. It was designed to coordinate and be a good contrast. It works more as a complement, of course, that mini skein for this particular colourway. And there we go, you can see those shades flowing all the way throughout. There we go. So I sell exclusively via Etsy. So if you search for my shop on Etsy, just pop in Chimera Crafting. Once I've saved this live video, I will pop a link in the description as well. All of these yarns that I've shown you so far today are available currently. I just set the listings to live around about 20 minutes ago, so do feel free to pop over when we're done and have a look at that. So 2 collections done. My third collection is all inspired by photographs my friends, and also on my social media. Sometimes I run competitions and people send me photographs to have a look at and work from. But these are all inspired by scenes from the UK's countryside rather. And skies, sunsets, that sort of idea. And as I said, I'm a Yorkshire lass, so we'll start with Yorkshire sunset. I'll just show you very quickly. This is what my packaging looks like. Very simple. It's unbleached recycled paper and paper tape as well. All of my packaging is completely plastic free. This is something I'm tremendously proud of. I do work very hard to try and reduce the environmental impact of my small business. So yes, Humber sunset. Sorry, not Humber, Yorkshire sunset. Now this is dyed on 2-ply sock weight, and this gives you, it does have nylon in the mix as well, and this gives you 350 metres of very beautiful, soft, squishy 2-ply sock weight yarn. You see those colours there? Lovely sunset shades, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, one of my friends had a holiday on the Isle of Skye last year or the year before, I think, and she sent me a photograph of a sunset that she'd taken there. So this is Skye sunset, and the sky was absolutely full of the most gorgeous purple shades that you can imagine, and it was a really inspiring photograph. On my Etsy, I do share the original photographs with in the photographs with the listings, so do have a look, because it really was spectacular. So we've got super rich dark purples flowing into those sunset shades again, and through all the purples, subtle blues, little bits of hints of grey in there as well to represent the clouds. So that one is Skye sunset, not Humber sunset. There we go. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, Mumma. I think it's really important to be able to show you the full skein, so that you can sort of read the yarn and decide whether it's for you. These last obviously work up as slightly variegated, but the longer colour changes, it's not too wild, you know. a competition winner, you know, I was saying on my social media that I run competitions sometimes, was for Wolds Way. Now, Wolds Way is a walk in Yorkshire here, and the photograph was of the most beautiful yellow golden fields, blue skies. There we are, beautiful rich greens, very bright, very cheery. Okay, so I do have a couple of others of that type of the sort of UK inspired colourways, but I'm going to move on. Now, the theme of the Yorkshire Yarn Fest was friendship this year. Now, as I've mentioned, I do love amateur astronomy. I'm an avid stargazer, and friendship was a really unusual concept to work with. And so I settled on working with the idea of what I love to do with my friends, and that is amateur astronomy. And that gave birth to this exclusive colourway here. And this is called Friendship, but in my mind, I kind of call it stargazing. So it has gorgeous blues and purples representing the dark wintry night sky, and those patches of bare yarn are representing the star field, of course, different constellations maybe. Let your imagination run wild. Now, this is pure blue-faced Leicester Aran weight. Checking my notes, this gives you 165 metres of very beautiful yarn. There we are. And one of my final exclusives for Yorkshire Yarn Fest. This is called Intertidal. This is dyed on blue-faced Leicester. It's a 100-gram skein, and it has gorgeous browns, natural yarn flowing into the blues there, as you can see. There we go. Now, I do have, I can dye on all sorts of different bases for you. All of my yarn is British sourced, so do bear that in mind. If you would like a commission, I take custom dyes, then pop over. I'm active on both Facebook and Instagram. Just search Chimera Crafting and I should come up. So do feel free to have a look, slide into my DMs if you would like any of the colourways that I've shown you to be dyed on any of the other bases or anything of the sort. Now, like I say, my packaging is plastic free. This is something that's very important to me. I work very hard to reduce the environmental impact of what it is that I do. I talk about that quite a lot on my own social media, my Chimera Crafting social media. So again, feel free to give me a follow if you want to just learn a little bit more about what I do. I sell, like I say, exclusively through Etsy, so do feel free to give my shop some love and maybe make a purchase. One thing just before I finish is that I do dye in very small batches. I have quite limited space. I live in a very tiny house. So with that in mind, I've decided that I will, should any of my physical stock sell out this weekend, I will be dyeing to pre-order. So my turnaround is estimated to be between 2 to 4 weeks for that, just in case. Quite a long time, but that's just in case I get a little bit overwhelmed. I don't want to be late with anything, and so there we are. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm pretty sure my time is almost up. Oh, thank you. Yes, it does remind me of the Milky Way as well, very much so. And oh, morning Unravel and Wind there. Thank you for joining me. I do want to say a very big thank you. I really appreciate it. This is my first Yorkshire Yarn Fest, first time I've ever participated, and I'm super grateful for you all turning out and showing me some support. It's wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful. So I'm going to head off now. I will be sharing this video to Yorkshire Yarn Fest page. So if you just jumped in now, you will have an opportunity to catch up. And I'll also be sharing it to Chimera Crafting's page as well. So I'm going to end it there, if I can figure out how to end it again. I did have a little issue with that last night. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your lovely comments. I really appreciate it. So take care and good luck to all the vendors. Please do stay and hang around and watch everybody else's videos too. Thank you very much.